I'm Chef Rick Tarentino from Home Shopping Network. You can check me out on my website at www.chefricktarentino.com for some more great recipes. Today we're going to make a Vietnamese beef stew, or boho. It's a great recipe layered with flavor after flavor from anise to lemongrass. This recipe has all the flavors your mouth is ever going to want to taste. So to begin, this is sort of a two-step recipe. You're going to marinate overnight and then you're going to slow cook the next day. What I like to begin with is roasting my bones. By roasting the bones that I have left over from my sirloin or my shank, it's going to add a lot of rich flavor. It's important that you don't just add them in raw, that you always roast them first. So to my pan, I'm going to add a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and then put my bones in and start roasting them while we make our marinade. We've got our pan nice and hot. I'm going to add in some olive oil or a little vegetable oil combination. Going to let that heat up. Then to that, I'm going to add, you can see that starting to smoke. Now I'm going to add my bones. I'm going to season them. Little salt, little pepper, flip them over, season the other side. Now we're going to let those brown and caramelize on all sides. That's going to give it us a rich flavor that we're going to look for when we create our Vietnamese beef stew. Let's start our marinade. First we're going to add in about a teaspoon of chili powder, then some cinnamon, clove, ginger, and paprika. Then we're going to add in our meat. I've got chopped sirloin. You can use sirloin or shank meat. Going to give that a stir to coat it evenly. Now this is sort of a dry rub marinade. I'm going to add in my sugar and some fish sauce. Now these layers of flavor are traditional in Vietnamese cooking. But it's very important that no matter what meat you use, beef, pork, even goat, that you use this marinade or this dry rub process for at least a day before. So you're going to refrigerate this overnight for up to a day or two. You're just going to cover that, place it in your fridge, and let all those layers of flavor penetrate the meat. Our bones are roasting up nice. Now you can also do this in your oven on about 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Add a nice, deep, rich flavor. All right, let's prepare our slow cook ingredients. First we're going to chop some carrots. Oh, maybe a 1/4 inch thick. We're going to chop our shallots. Our shallots. Shallots add a unique flavor. It's got that onion, but not too astringent flavor. Now let's begin to layer our slow cooker ingredients. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of annatto oil to the bottom. Then I'm going to add in my carrots, some garlic, about a tablespoon of garlic. Now I'm going to add in some whole star anise. If you take a look, you can see the anise is whole and it's shaped like a star right there. A couple of bay leaves, some lemongrass, right into here. Using my zester or my grater. Here's the trick. You're going to see all the ground ginger on the other side. You want to make sure you get that off and into your dish. We're going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of anise oil. It's just going to accentuate the anise flavor in there a little more as the star anise cooks. And season that with just a pinch of our ocean's flavor low sodium sea salt and pepper. Remember those bones that we roasted? I'm going to add those in right now. Now they're just for flavor. If you like, I know my grandmother, she used to love to eat the meat off those bones when it was done cooking. Finally, we're going to add in our marinated meat that sat overnight. Look at that rich color that's steeped into our nice stew meat. Remember, you can use beef, pork, turkey, even goat here. Add that all in. This dish is so full of flavor that you're going to be amazed when you eat it. And to the top of that, my cut shallots. I'm going to give that a stir. You can hear the crock pot already begin to heat up. Then we're going to cover that with about 3 or 4 cups of beef stock. We want to add in just enough to cover it. It's going to tenderize as it cooks. The meat tendons are going to break down, turn to gelatin, get nice, soft, and tender, and all those flavors are going to infuse into the meat. And we're going to cook it for 4 to 8 hours, depending on how much time you have. You really can't overcook this dish. The more tender it gets, the better it tastes. And I'm going to serve it up with a unique finish between hot pepper and lime. Our Vietnamese beef stew is almost finished. Let's take a look. Wow. I'll tell you what, all those seasonings and flavors that we layered in have infused into our meat and given us that rich flavor that we're looking for. Vietnamese beef stew is an interesting dish because not only did it have all those interesting flavors like the star anise that we added in, it's not traditionally eaten as a lunch or a dinner meal. It's served as a breakfast. So we're going to garnish it with some pickles, a little bit of red crushed hot pepper or other hot pepper, like a jalapeno or a chili, a squeeze of lime, and a touch of annatto oil. Now that is the tasty dish with, I guarantee, the most layers of flavor that you ever had in a beef stew. So while you're enjoying this with your friends and family, remember to say, Ang Yong Day Do, or eat well in Vietnamese.